So hello guys, welcome back. And this is week 2. So in last video we talked about multiple things regarding that was our first video. So we talked about different things like what we're doing and different stuff. Now continuing on that. So in last video I promised you one thing, which is we'll be talking about the different services and the different softwares that we use in our to run our complete system. So we'll talk about that. First of all, we'll talk about that only, and then we'll move on to other things. Okay. So running a content agency is not a like when we're starting out, it's not a system intensive process. Like it doesn't require like a bunch of automations and stuff to do this, to do that, and the bunch of jargons, right? It doesn't require that. We have kept our system very simple. We've kept our system scalable to a point where we don't have to change many things until we reach a certain point. Okay, it's not we don't have to change anything till we reach 1K. So that's for sure. Okay, so firstly, what we do is like as you can all know, we do the video editing part. So we use Adobe Suite. Okay, that is I won't go into costing side, but yeah, we use the Adobe Suite. It comes with Premiere Pro, After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator, and bunch of other stuff. Right? That sort of thing. Second is we use Envato Elements. It's a good website to download, the music, B-rolls, transitions, and all those things. Yes, one thing is that the 3 section of Envato, it's actually very underrated. It's a good section. So if you're using that, you should go ahead and look for that. And another section which I found, which is underrated, is you can download a bunch of stock videos, as well as you can download some video templates from Envato as well. That is also underrated. You can you just have to replace some of the elements, and you can have good transitions and good effects on top of a video just by replacing some of the elements. You don't have to do anything. So that is one part which goes around and get unnoticed mode in Envato. The next is we use Trello for project management. It is important to keep track of stuff which is going on. So what we have done is that for every client, we only have one client, and we edit 2 videos or 2 different sections for them. So for every person, we have like a different project for each of them, and there are different sections made for each of those, right? So as we are doing short form for those, so we have like a video cut, frames created, edited, uploaded, etc., and we move that particular card into those sections. The next is we use frame.io to keep a track of like all the videos. We sent out a video link, a frame link to the particular client, and then he gives the revisions to us on top of that, right? So it makes frame.io is an industry standard product, and everybody uses it. So we use that. Okay, we use Slack for our communication. So though right now we are communicating with the client on Telegram, which is unprofessional, I know that, but we use Slack to communicate with our clients. The next thing is regarding payments. So it's an industry standard that everyone uses this Stripe, but right now we are collecting payments in crypto. So we have USDT. So the problem with the Stripe is that in India, so right now, if you look at the news, they have gone in white only for Indian people, Indian businesses, and all those sort of things, right? So we are not a player in white only. I applied on a Stripe for 2 times and I got rejected both of the times. I don't know the reason. So yeah, it is one of the things. We use Google Domains to have our website and to keep that hosted. And the next is like where do we, how do we have we developed the website, right? So firstly, when like a year back ago, we started using like Canva, right? Not Canva, Card. So Card is a website designer where we can have a bunch of drag and drops and all sort of things. It is good to develop basic websites, but it is not good for develop advanced websites, the one which we have right now. Okay, so Himanshu is actually one developer. So he has developed the complete website from scratch, and he has done a good job in doing that. Like it took him some of the time, and the thing with developing our own website is that now we have all the code written off it. Okay, it's on GitHub. If you are a software dev, that you might know it. It's on GitHub. Hosting is all done on GitHub, so we can change the code however we want and whenever we want. So that is one of the advantages that we have. And from next month onward, so like regarding the services and the plugins and the softwares that you use, this is pretty much it. There are no, you can add Notion as well. Notion is a big part for us. to keep our communication in sync as well as like the personal stuff in check as well. I do use Notion a lot. Okay, Notion is a good note-taking software, and it's good to it for me. It acts like a second brain for me. It keeps the stuff in check, and I don't have to rely on my memory to do certain things. Right. From the next month onwards, on top of these services and on top of these products that we use, we'll be adding two more, which is will be the Twitter Premium and the Hype Fury subscription, which is used again for Twitter only. Twitter is scheduling, if that makes sense, and we'll be using both of them. And the reason which we'll be using both of them will cover later. Okay. So now I would like Himanshu to go and talk about some of his updates and some of the things that we have done in the past 1 week. It's a good stuff that we have done in the past week. We will give good stuff to talk about. Go on.
Yeah, so the office currently we are operating in, it is almost set up, and the kitchen part is also done. So there will be no blockage in the process, and we will be staying in the office for almost. We are planning to stay in office for almost 10 to 12 hours. So we will be bringing a lot productive hours, and we will be moving. Means we will be doing a lot of needle moving tasks in that, and we will be productive throughout the day as we will be staying at the one place. Other than that, our office is also done. Office is almost done. It will take almost 1 day to complete the whole section of the office and to set up the uh, recording part, that is the lights and all. Other than that, we joined the Amen coaching program last week on the Monday, on Sunday or Monday, Sunday I guess. Yeah, Sunday on Sunday. Almost 30 agencies are there in the content agency accelerator program, and that all the agencies are doing in a good number. That is, yeah, means yesterday only I saw the one agency signed 3K client. That was 3K per month retainer. That is good. All other guys are also doing well. They are almost doing 20, 15, yeah, 30K. Other than that, on the onboarding call with the AMN, we gained so much clarity on our work, that what we need to do in the next 1 month, next 2 months, or next 3 months, and we are going to also approach the points that he gave. Means we will be doing the points that he gave, and we'll be for the client acquisition, we will be continuing with the Dream 100 approach.
So the one thing that I wanted to talk about is the arrangement of stuff in the office that we have done, right? So the you will ask that why we are even having this on our contingency thing and why we are having that, right? So the reason for that is like when we shifted to this place, so what was happening is that we used to do 1 or 2 hour of work, and then we used to go back home. That used to break our work to eat some food, to have some coffee, or anything of that sort, right? We used to go home, come back again, and then do the thing, right? And at the home, we'll there was bad and all sort of things. So we used to just lie down for a couple of bits. We used to lose track of time with it, right? That was one of the things that I noticed. To fix this, what we did is we just instantly throw our kitchen over here. Basic stuffs are done. Like we can cook egg over here, we can have coffee over here, and we have like machinery like mixer grinders over there, so we can make shakes and all sorts of stuff as well. Right. The second thing is we were having. So if you have watched any of the video of Charlie Morgan or any sort of entrepreneurs, you might have realized that the best way to eat food if you're an entrepreneur is to keep yourself hungry, right? The concept of breakfast is sort of very misguided. It's sort of very vague in a way that we don't need breakfast, we don't need carbs in the morning. Forget about breakfast, you don't need carbs in the morning. If you are having carbs in the morning, then it will be like you will feel very lousy and stuff, right? We were having a lot of carbs in our like in previous 10 to 15 days, and it was making us feel a bit of drowsy in the morning time only. What we'll do now is that we don't will not be able to eat chicken, but we'll be able to eat uh, boiled eggs at our place, and it will keep our energy levels in check. That is the second point. The next point is what happens when uh, when you take breaks in between of your sessions is you lose your momentum, you lose your focus. Like what happens is that when you sit down to work, you work for like 15 minutes, then you actually get into the flow state, right? Before like 15 minutes, you'll be having thoughts of this happened, that happened, this stuff is there, this stuff is there. In 15 to 20 minutes, you get into focus, right? And now if you're making that focus in 1 or 1.5 hours, it's done. It's bullshit. Yes, you can do Pomodoro and all sort of things, but what I have recognized is that if you do the focused work of 2 hours minimum, I would say, it brings a lot of stuff to your plate, and you can do a lot of productive things in very short amount of time. I have felt it because when we were previously, almost 2 months ago, when we were in Hyderabad, we used to do that. We used to eat chicken in the morning and we used to have coffee in the mornings, right? What we used to do is we used to wake up, we used to have tea, and afterwards, some time we'll have coffee, and then we'll have chicken, right? There is no energy crash, there is nothing of that sort, and we can just focus and turbo ramp some fucking shit. That's what I have felt. The productivity of that time and the productivity that we have now, though we will increase it, but the one which we are having like last week or last week as well, it is I would say like 20% or 30% of that, right? The amount of work that is getting done, it can be a lot more. So the fixing the diet and the fixing the personal part, I would say it's a lot more important. The next thing is we have in the room, you can't see it because of the camera. We have one board, one whiteboard, one pin board, and one short board over here. On the short board, we'll be writing down on the tasks that we need to do for a particular week, of which we need to shoot the video. On the pin board, we'll write down the long-term goals which you can have, and the other important part is that we'll write you down some rules that we don't need to break. Some of the rules that we need to have in mind while we are doing any sort of stuff. Those rules, like the one rule which I learned last week from the Iman call as well, is that you need to, it might sound very vague, but you need to over communicate with your clients. Like, I'm not saying communicate, you need to over communicate with your clients. He gave an example of there was a guy who was running Google Ads managing agency, right? So the Google Ads were down for 7 days, right? If there is a normal person, he can be on the side of like, it's just summer down for 7 days, we can't do anything, so we won't communicate to the clients. But what he was doing is he was giving a regular update to the client on those 7 days as well. And then your Google Ads Manager is down, but here is the stuff that we are planning to do on the next week once the Google Manager is up and running again. Here are some of the things that we are doing, blah 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 blah. So if you look at it, then this is the level of communication that is actually required to keep a client happy and not being able to churn from him. That is the level of communication that is required. And I was also not doing this. And the rule of thumb is that you need to send at least one message per day to the client. No matter it's a weekend, weekday, or any sort of that thing, you need to over communicate with the client. This is the sort of things he should know at each and every aspect, what is going on, what is happening, and all sort of things. To implement this, what I did last day is that my health was not well. So what I did is I sent a couple of revisions to the client, and on top of that, I made a Doom video for him, and I told him that what, these are all the videos that we have done. And the thing with me is right now I'm having a fever, but you can see the timeline. All the videos are arranged, all the videos are done over here, and we'll be sending these videos as soon as possible. He today when I woke up, he appreciated me for that. He was happy, like thanks for communicating this to me, and yeah, it will help. On the other hand, if I would not have communicated this thing to the client, and if I would have relied, but I haven't, it's completely fine, it's 1 2 hour delay, it would look bad, and he might have a certain sort of resentment on that matter as well. Like, why is he doing that, and like what sort of stuff. So this is one of the lessons that I learned from the event call. So this is the advantage of the coaching, that when you pay for that coaching, this is one of the things. uh, Okay, so this is regarding the office space. So in the last week, when we got in the video, so we have completed 10 videos. We have sent out 10 videos. If you look at it, that like $15 per video, it will around like $50. Okay, and Himanshu has completed 10 frames for different videos as well. So yeah, it's the update for the video that we have done. We will be talking about more on that.
Yeah, so this week we had target to complete 10 videos. That will be, so we will be delivering 25 videos for our client this week. The 25 videos which we will deliver will make us around $375, which is far greater than the amount of money which we made in the last month. That was May. So in last month we made 275 or $250, something like that. And this week we are achieving
220.
225. Okay, 225. So this week, this month we will be making 375. That is good, but due to the shifting process and to get the things moving here, it took time. So in July we were off a bit. I must say we were not able to deliver the videos and we were not able to stay focused in the time. Other than that, I have revamped the website that Ayman mentioned when we were on the onboarding call, and it is resolved. The VSL section was somewhat fucked, and it is resolved now. And animations are also so much faster now. And I will be adding the more shots that we have created in the video and the example area that is in our website. And again we will be resuming marketing part as well. So after we got our first client in May starting, we completely stopped our marketing and we were not doing anything that related to client acquisition part. So as Saurabh mentioned, we will be investing in the Twitter premium and the high fury part. That that will boost up our marketing part, and we will be pushing out more content on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. And so for me, I will be targeting, I will be learning scripting for short form videos. There will be a lot of areas that I need to explore and learn and test to figure out what makes a short go viral. And I will be mastering and going deep into that in next 30 to 60 days and completely master the short form content from hook to flow to pacing of the video, everything related to short.
There are a couple of points like they're a bit separated from each other. So Himanshu just mentioned of the scripting side, right? So you might be asking like, like you guys are doing video editing, so why are you jumping on the scripting side, right? So one thing that I've learned from Eamon and other people that are in the content in this space is that video editing in itself is not a, to be very honest, like I have invested a lot of time in this, but yeah, like to be honest, like video editing in itself is not a very high ROI skill. It's a very technical skill. To be very concise about it. Yes, it requires a bit of like creativity. Yes, I understand that, but on a wider scale, it's technical, and also the video editing market is very much saturated. If you look at it, then if you go on any make money online video that is talked about in the market, any guy which is like 15 or 16-year old or any sort of that stuff, what is the most talked about topic? It will be video editing. It will be writing, or it will be any sort of those things. It will not be Google ads, it will not be Facebook ads, and it will not be that sort of stuff, because that stuff requires time as well as investment as well as other sort of skills to actually learn. And it's not easy to acquire a client for Google ads or Facebook ads. Acquiring your first client is not easy for that. But for video editing, it works in a different way, and you just need to click some buttons and you need to just do some of volume and like do it. That's why the video editing market is very saturated, and it's very difficult to stand out from other video editors that are out there in the market. The best way to stand out in the market, as far as I have learned from Eamon, this is my opinion, you might disagree, is to learn scripting. When you're doing the scripting for the client, what he does is that now he needs to focus mostly on just the shooting. Sorry, he just need to focus on the shooting and not the other areas. He is not worried about like, I need to do content research, I need to write the script, I need to like to do the write a first draft, and then to like cut out the different points. It will remove the what I will say is it will remove the barriers from his side to shoot the content, to push out the content. And the more content he pushes out, the more revenue and other sort of skills or other sort of important things he will be able to generate. So it is a skill that we both need to master. And so we both want to learn scripting. And I was like under the assumption that if we both learn scripting, then we'll both have the same skill and it will collide in both of us, right? Like whether he will do this script or I will do this script or what will happen, right? So yesterday we were talking about we are walking and we guys have good thoughts when we're walking. Okay, like, it is just a good thing you should also involve in your thing. So we figured out that we offer two services as of now, like in an ideal world. So one is the long form and the other one is the short form, right? So then the way the scripting for both is done, it's slightly different way, right? In the short form, the hook is the main thing, and the body is, yeah, it's concerned, but not much. But the hook is the main part, and the scripting is different for both of them. If I were to say short, right? So Himanshu will be mastering the short form editing, short form scripting, my bad. I will be going to master the long form scripting, right? In that way, both our responsibilities will be different, and also they will both be able to do different stuff for a different client, for the same client as well. If a client is looking for the long form and the short form, we'll both have different sort of skills to do that. So it's good in that way as well.
We can outreach a lot of people using script as compared to making them a thumbnail or a short form video edited for them. Means within 13 means if we get in flow of scripting, we will be able to generate one script in 30 to 25 minutes. A short form clip will be generated between 20 to 15 minutes, which is far better as compared to video editing. It takes almost 2 to 3 hours to edit a short form video. It is far better to do scripting for outreach, I guess. It is good. And we'll be able to reach out as many as people as we want. Means for our dream 100 client prospects.
Yeah, cool. So there are two or more points that I need to cover. So one point is that we were watching the modules that we were having in the content agency accelerator, which is the Amen program again. So one thing that before I talk about it, one thing that I would like to say is that Amen program was a high ticket program. Okay, I won't go in the price, but it was a high ticket program. It requires certain dollars. Okay, it was a good amount. It's not easy for an Indian to get that service. It's more than some of the universities that you guys pay for the particular year, right? So the thing was that I was having that payment. Yeah, we collected it by some sort, but we were having that. But the thing is, to do that payment, I was not having a particular card. My card was having a limit of 75,000 rupees, if that makes sense, which comes around like $1,000, right? I was like, bro, like we can't do the complete payment in one go. Like if the payment required like two parts, it had to be done in two parts, and the amount is 150. To be precise, it was more than that. But yeah, that was one thing. I didn't like it, to be very honest. Like we are running a content system or something like that, but we can't do payments, good payments in two parts. But yeah, that is the reality that you have to live with, and that is the thing that you need to figure out when you are starting out. Though I solved that problem, but it was not done by my card. It was done by someone else's, and like it is not a good feeling when you do that, because you should be able to reach a point where you can able to do all the purchases from your own stuff. That was one thing. Okay, but not to worry about it. We'll solve it in 6 months or so. I'm pretty sure about that. We'll increase the card limit. Though my net banking got blocked, but we'll sure that. So one thing, two things actually regarding focus, which we have done in the last 7 days or so, and which I have felt in the last 7 days or so, is that like the best way, I was doing this before as well, the best way to have a focused time, according to me, is to have music which is slow, which doesn't have any lyrics. It's slow music, and my favorite music is two, three, which is one is the Batman music, which is a 1 hour loop, and the other one is the Oppenheimer, which is again a 1 hour loop. You put them on a slow speed, slow volume by that, and then you keep it on playing, and you do your stuff, right? Trust me, you will if you do it, you will not realize, but the 1 hour will pass, and you will feel better. Like the amount of stuff that you have done, you'll feel a lot better about that. So another point is that last week when we returned to our hometown and we were shooting the video, so at that time, like we were alcohol free from almost 8 days, 8 or 7 days, right? Now we are, since we are alcohol free from, like, we haven't drank alcohol like since, like, when we started on 14th or 15th, 16th or 17th, 16th maybe. We have been alcohol free from 16 to 17. So the clarity, the thoughts, the things and the seriousness and the vision that we are having 7 days back, and the things and the all those stuff that we are having right now, it's different. The clarity that you get when you are, like, when you are on alcohol, bro, like, even if it's just 7 days, you feel a bit drowsy, you feel a bit like, clunky, what's happening, this is bad, okay, you have a bit of brain fog. Not a bit of brain fog, there are a lot of brain fog. You can't sit straight and talk to the video. If you might go back and watch the last video that we shot, you might realize that, this video is flowing much better than the last one. So it is just what it is. Like, alcohol does make you feel a bit drowsy. It gives you brain fog. You can't sit straight and talk to people. It also hampers with your focus as well. You can't sit for a long period of time and do the fucking work. That is also one thing. Also, like, we have a habit of meditating. I have been doing it for 4 years, and Himanshu is also doing it for a good enough time. On and off, I am also, like, not consistent, like, for 4 years consistent, but yeah, I've been doing a good part of it. And the last 7 days, last 12 days or so, we started again, and it is having its effect as well. Like, the focus is getting back, and I think by the next week, bro, the output is going to be very different. Like, the output that we are having right now and the output that we will be having in the next 7 days when we'll shoot the video again of the week 3, it will be entirely different. The next thing I want to talk about is that, so we just, before making this video, we had a call with the guy that we are working with, right? It was a monthly progress kind of thing, which we had with him. And we talked about, like, different stuff, like, what sort of thing. And, we talked with him for the first time. We talked with another business partner of him. And, it was the first interaction with him. So it was good in that regard. We talked about a bunch of different things. And the one pain point that I realized from him is that, he likes the work that we are doing. Like, he didn't complain anything about, like, the video editing that we are doing. He likes the video. There are just a couple of suggestions that we need to implement. And that's right. Like, the video editing part, he's happy with that. The thing that he is not happy with is the volume part. Like, he needs video in a lot more volume, and we are not able to deliver him that volume right now. To be very honest, we were not able to deliver him that volume in the last month or so, I would say that. So we need to solve that pain point for him, and otherwise he'll be very happy. The best way to find out focus, according to me, is that when you have slow music with slow music, and you have lost everything around you, and just you are focusing on your work that you're doing, and nothing else is disturbing you. The two favorite music that I've already talked about. We also talked about being alcohol free and how it has helped me in focus and all sort of those things. So keeping it to that. The other main point that I was talking about is that I learned from the Amen coaching is that there is a software, free software, I would say, that is Clockify. It's not a software; it's like a website. And Clockify is basically it helps you in making projects, and then what you can do is, like, you can note down the work that it's just a software to note down the time that you're spending on different projects. That's it. It doesn't do much more than that. But the thing is, it has helped me a lot in terms of tracking the time. I would say that as far as this is concerned, we have just implemented it for a week. We won't know the results as of now because we haven't backtracked the results. And also, like, it's a habit that we need to develop. It will take some time to develop the habit of, clocking in the time and clocking in the output time. What it will help in is that, we can, we humans have a habit of overestimating the work that we are doing. We always have that habit. We are not, we are not good at keeping the time frame to ourselves. I was talking to a guy, a good friend of mine, I would never not name him. So he was under the assumption that Right now he's working 90 hours per week, and he wants to push it to 105 hours per week. I was like, bro, you are not serious when you say that. Like, it is just not humanly possible. He considers sleep as a bad thing. I'm like, bro, well, you're sounding retarded. It doesn't make sense. It's coming from another concept, which is like we humans want to, show other people that we are busy instead of being actually busy and doing the work. We humans do have that tendency. We want other to feel that, we are taking more work instead of we actually doing great work. We human that used to have a tendency. So cutting out all these things, Clockify does help in doing that. And also, like, the main advantage of Clockify is that it will help in the tracing back this stuff, right? It will help in tracking back, where I was spending most of our time on. And for me and for Himanshu as well, I can consider that, we are spending most of our time on editing videos for the particular client that we are having right now. And that is not good. And I would say that we'll rectify it. Next point is that Eamon in this, in this school modules, he talked about like to track all the expenses that you're incurring. So we both tracked our personal expenses as well as the business expenses that we are having. So I think that was required, and that gave us a good idea of how much money we are spending per month on our services and all sort of those things. And yeah, like that took a bit of time as well. For me, it took like 5 hours, maybe more than that. But I'm sure it took 2 hours or something like that. So yeah, again, we were able to keep track of this time by the use of Clockify. So Clockify helps in that manner as well. So coming to the end for this video, I would say that we'll talk about few things in the coming video. The first thing is that we are going to talk about is the net worth of both of us, how it is, and what are the current expenses of all the services and the softwares that we are using, and how it is going in, what is the exact profit that we are making per month out of this service. In the last month we did 225, and this month we are on track to make 375 or something around that. And that happens, and it will be a 66% increase in the overall revenue that we are making. And if everything goes well, then it will be more in the coming next month as well. Also, we'll be elaborating more on the marketing, right? Of how we are actually doing the marketing of ourselves, how we are actually acquiring clients and customers for ourselves. We haven't talked about that, a little bit of it, but not much in detail. We'll talk about that in the coming video. This, what we're doing right now, recording video and talking to the front of the camera and like doing this shit, this is not marketing for our service. This is not marketing. We won't show this to our clients, bro, like we are doing $225 and do 375, and this is the service. Bullshit, it's retarded. He doesn't have the time. He doesn't give a fuck to do this and to see this in the first place. These videos that we're recording, these are for our younger version, for our 2 year older version, previous version, that will see it and that will recognize that this is the amount of input that is required. This is the amount of activities that is required to actually run a business and to actually do good in life. You know what I mean? These are the amount of knowledge. Am I right? This is the amount of knowledge that you have, and these are sort of all the things that you need to do.
Basically, all the ups, all the downs, all the problems, everything will be documented here. So it will give a nice overview for a person who is behind us. Like, we are just starting our agency right now, means we are picking up the things. But if we reach to a certain point in 2 to 3 years, and a person who looks to us and sees that they are doing this amount of money, this amount of business at that point, and if he wants to, means he wants to indulge in this thing, this will provide a right path to him. He will get to know everything that takes to grow the agency from 0 to 10 or whatever the amount he wants to do.
As you grow in the business, it changes your mentality. The things that I'm talking about today might get irrelevant in the coming 6 months or so as we scale further. Things might change in terms of like what are the focus areas for us and what are the different talking points that we are talking about. But it'll serve a good purpose for that version of the reality, that version of the itself that we have. Okay, so the last thing is that we have put the total links in the description. Go ahead and check out the stuff. We'll be starting next week. We have put our IG links. Check out that, and also we have put the website link, storyshift.co.in, and check out that. And peace. Thank you.
Peace.